Welcome to Resume Masterclass. I'm Stephanie Toma, and I've been a career coach for a few different platforms now, Career Foundry, Randstad, Hire Club, done stuff at YPOSF events, and private clients. And one thing I know for sure is that most people need a resume. However, most people don't know what they're doing wrong to have their resume not to get them the results that they want. So I'm going to let you know 7 different things that you should not do so that your resume can be really impactful. The first don't is long bullet points. I've seen so many resumes where there are 10 bullet points for a position, and maybe each bullet point is a paragraph or even a complete sentence. I advocate for sentence fragments, keeping the first word action-oriented, compiled, established, accomplished, and then put a stat in there or something like that and keep it really concise. And also, you'll want to limit it to 3 to 5 bullet points per position. Go ahead and whittle it down and you'll thank me later. Second mistake, too many colors and fonts and sizes. Oh my goodness, people. Okay, go ahead and if you have a multicolored background or paisleys or a pattern or whatever, scrap it. Keep it simple. How about 2 colors, black and white? Your font is black, the paper is white, and maybe you want your name to be something like 24 point font, and then keep the rest at 12. Keep it simple so that it's not all over the place. While we're on the topic, number 3, do not use white text. Here's what I mean. Some people learned back in the day that if you put a bunch of white text in your resume, then machines that are scanning your resume will pick up on the SEO optimized words and boost your resume. However, modern day machines and technology are aware of people doing this, so they don't even read white text or white font. So that's a total mistake if you got creative with your background and put a, let's say, a dark gray background, and then you put white text on top of it. It could go completely unread, which is completely wasting the real estate of your resume. So don't do that. Number 4, the mistake of no hyperlinks. You have a golden opportunity in this tech age to have your LinkedIn, your email, your portfolio not just listed, but hyperlinked. You have the option to have it written there that you have it. But instead of typing the whole thing out, go ahead and hyperlink the text so that it opens up in another tab. That is another thing that I'd like to emphasize because you don't want people to completely forget where your resume is. And that can actually happen if you have a bunch of hyperlinks and then they take you to a different tab. Then you have the person looking at your resume or trying to going back and forth, clicking refresh, where wouldn't it be nice if you allowed them to line up 3 different tabs so they could easily find your resume and finish what they started? Number 5 is an image of yourself. You do not want this because think about it. If you're concerned of ageism in either direction, you're too young, too old, not pretty enough, too pretty, my goodness, no, don't even deal with that. And how you can avoid it is by not having your image on your resume. I don't know when this was ever something that was standard, certainly not as long as I've been a career coach in modern times in the past decade. The people that I have seen that have these images on their resumes do tend to be Gen X or baby boomers. And I've also noticed a trend in them being glamour shots from their 20s or 30s. So, for the purposes of potential ageism, just don't bother. I don't want to have to tell a client that they no longer look like their image. Let's not go there. Just don't have an image on your resume. Number 6, do not default to your chronological experience. And this may seem counterintuitive because why would you put things out of order, possibly? There are a few reasons why. So if you have a career gap, you might want to default instead of recent experience, change the first word to relevant experience. And the reason for this is it gives you wiggle room to only showcase what's actually relevant to the position that you're applying for. So if you have a background working in tech, but for the past 5 years, you've been working in a different industry and you want to go back, why would you emphasize what you just did? Unless you make a clear parallel that it actually is related, what you can do is put relevant experience, and it gives you freedom and flexibility to hop around or to cleverly disguise a career gap. Number 7, give up on being everything to everyone. What I mean by this is I've seen some resumes that have multi-hyphenates. Maybe it'll say designer, software engineer, artist. Okay, It's great to be multifaceted, but for the purposes of a resume, maybe you want to have three separate resumes for those three areas of focus. This helps the hiring manager look at your resume and know that you are an expert because unless you're working for a super startup where they actually need all those skills and it's listed in one position, chances are there's a specific skill set that is in need by this company. So you want to make it easy for them to know that you're the best candidate. One of the ways to do this is to establish yourself as a specialist in this way. And if you know me, you know that while having a great resume can really open doors, what actually opens doors is going through physical doors at networking events. If that gives you a sort of feeling like you don't want to do it, I have a resource for you. Go to stephanietoma, thoma.com/free gifts. And there you're going to find a few things, but the one that I want you to grab is the conversation starter sheet. That will give you 9 foolproof conversation starters based on my research and experience that has worked for me and my clients to effectively open up conversations that otherwise would have been closed in person so that you can make more connections and get your resume through the third door instead of going into a black hole never to be heard from again. Before we go, are you wanting to revamp your LinkedIn? If so, I would love to go through some LinkedIn profiles live and let you know what works, what doesn't. So go ahead and comment your LinkedIn profiles below, and I'll choose a few to go over in real time in an upcoming video. All right, and with that, I'm wishing you a really wonderful day, wonderful career. Until next time.